when I was born, I seizured when I was born very badly. The doctor took me away from my mother and came back in and told my mom that your son is going to be a vegetable. He's not going to be able to walk, talk, or think ever on his own. And my mom said, okay, took me home, put me in a crib with a fish tank above it, overstimulated my brain, read every early childhood development book on brain development that she could. So then in about 6 months of my life, I went over to, the IQ test and whatever, and they said, oh, this kid's really bright and all that kind of stuff. But I always knew, even when I was young, at 8 years old, I was doing it was my first experience in the theater, and we were driving home. It was me and my mom and my grandma, and I told my mom, I said, I don't think I'm normal, and my mom's like, oh, Darrell, you're fine, you're normal. So then in 4th grade, I went to with my dad to the puberty, night, thing. There's a new you coming every day. Pretty soon you're going to get hair under your arms and things, and all this kind of stuff. But that stuff really wasn't all happening to me. The important stuff was, ladies. But the rest of it wasn't really, happening to me. I wasn't getting stronger. I wasn't getting hair in my chest and all this kind of stuff. So then, fast forward, I'm gonna zip you all the way over here to 2006, and I'm married, and I actually live here in Las Vegas. I lived here for about 3 years, and so I go to a doctor and I say, look, I've had all these kind of bipolar symptoms, and I had type 2 diabetes and all this kind of stuff. Can you figure this out already? What's going on? I used to be hysterical when I was a kid. I was a little thing. I would cry over everything. So he said, he did a full blood test workup, and he told me 2 things. 1, you make the lowest amount of testosterone he had ever seen in a human male. And 2, I make no HGH, which is human growth hormone, which is as you go through puberty and actually get more muscular. Now, men who are middle-aged lose their hair because they have high amounts of testosterone, right? I'm keeping the hair. So, my father, okay, hold on. So then, I believe that everybody comes into your life for a particular reason and teaches you different things. So, my ex-wife told me once, I don't know, have you ever had this where, you're sitting there and you're going, everything is a mistake, right? I made all these kind of mistakes, right? So, my ex-wife told me, she was going up the stairs in Las Vegas, and she said, life is an adventure. And it really taught me something, because if we had a movie, right, where everything was happy, everybody's perfect and everybody's happy and everybody had a perfect life, it would be the most boring movie. It would make you vomit, right? So then, a little bit while after that, I'm divorced. I just moved to Denver, and my Damon DeMarco, my friend from college, I'm telling him the same kind of story. I say, I keep making mistakes. I just feel like my life is just going in circles. I'm going in circles. And he told me this. He said, you're not going in circles. You're spiraling upward. So that is the title of my book that I'm working on finishing up. And it's about overcoming these different things. My mother passed away of cancer. My father died before that. I was, and all these different things that you have to just push through and overcome. So, that being said, we're going to jump more into what I do today. So my father was a philosophy professor, right? He taught cognitive thinking and business ethics. And the most important thing he taught me was that words have meaning. I'm a big believer in etymology, the breakdown of words and what they really mean, right? To figure out what we're really doing in our lives and then in our business and all of that. So I'm going to break down 2 very popular terms that are often misused. Okay? You ready? Okay, first one is social media marketing, right? You heard this a lot, right? Social media marketing, I gotta be on Facebook, all that stuff. Okay, look, they got the letters in the wrong order, okay? First off, first question, what is media? What is media? A painting, right? A blog article, a picture, right? All right. So we're talking about media, right? So the next part of it is marketing. So what is marketing in your mind? What is marketing? Well, right. Marketing to me is the art of starting meaningful conversations underscore with meaningful. And the people that you want to start those meaningful conversations with are the ones that would value you the most, that would pay you the most for what you do. Think, oh my gosh, your solution is the best ever, right? So we want to create media that your target market, right, would want to share, learn from, retweet, pin, Snapchat, all these other things socially. Now here's the magic word. Social comes from a Latin word meaning ally. So now just by defining all those terms and putting them in the right order, we now have a strategy just based on the definition of the words. We need to create media that our target market would really want to share and learn from and all that kind of stuff socially. Get it? So it's not about, well, I got to get on Facebook. We got to have somebody tweeting for us because there's Twitter now, And what about Snapchat? Should we be snapping? Yeah. So to go on, I did good. I got through the whole beginning part without even looking over it. That's pretty good. Whew. Oh, by the way, this is the world premiere of my international speaking tour. Thank you. How am I doing so far? I got up at 4 in the morning, like, I'm going to speak today. Oh, wait, I have to wait. I got to speak today. Oh, I have to wait. Okay, so the next one, this is my favorite one, SEO, right? We all heard about the SEO, right? Search engine optimization. Okay, so first off, Pablo Picasso said, right, computers are useless. They can only give us answers, right? In other words, a calculator, right, we have math, and we could solve the math problem faster, and there's binary code, and now all these machines can do all this processing of data really, really fast. But they can just give us answers. But it's the human experience where those answers lead us to what? More questions and more things that we're searching for and more. So it's just tools that, of course, can speed things up and give us answers, but it's a human experience that keeps changing and growing and all of that. We're not really optimizing for Google. Google's job is to give us the answer to our query, right? So now think about this logically. You are the solution, right, to something. Your business is, your life is, the products that you're trying to sell. So what is the problem, right? So what questions are people asking that you know the answer to? When I do my Stern storming sessions, which is very intensive brainstorming and work with me, you're going to start to rattle off things that you know about. Well, I wish people understood the difference between portrait and landscape already, for gosh sakes, and I wish they realized that the lens of the camera was over here on the side, and you don't look at the thing because you're looking at yourself, and you got to take the picture all wrong, right? So how do we reverse engineer that and make that into a question that people are asking? Like, how do I take better selfies, or why do my selfies always look stupid, or whatever the heck that is, right? If someone asked that exact question into the query, and you were the only one that I'm talking about word for word, phrased that answer the way that people were searching, well, guess what? You just appeared there, and people came in and discovered you. Now, notice what I say is they discovered you. They didn't know you existed before, but they discovered you because they were asking the questions right into the machine that then you have the solution to. So, as you do your blogging, anybody have a blog? Okay. As you do your blogging, you are asking questions, right, or phrasing questions in the way, now here's our brains, right? We're not in our brains. We have to somehow go like this, spin the universe around through the wormhole, right, and go out the other side to what the people out there are talking about. It's not how you think about it and what you say about it, because we're always stuck in our own bubble. I call it the I, me, me syndrome. We've been in business for 6 years. We really love our clients. Bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, right? What we want to talk about is what is the benefit of that. So do you want to hear how this all kind of manifests in the way I think about these projects? I'm just going to take you through a few examples. I met a local auto mechanic. His name is Saul Reisman. Genius auto mechanic. Start talking to him about a certain type of car, and he just goes on and on and on. The 1964 Ford was built like this and has this engine and just knows everything about it. So if there's things that you know about, guess what my job is? My job is to take all that and digitalize it and put it into all this web. There's a reason why they call it the web. I think the World Wide Web is like our consciousness, right, manifested into wires in a machine, right, or global consciousness, right. So when I met Saul, I said this. I'm going to go a little bit faster now because I like going fast sometimes. Okay. I made 60 landing pages, one for each and every type of car that there is. I found the Twitter handles for every single make and model of car that there was. I went out and started videotaping him. Every week we did 5 different videos. I had those 100% transcribed. So every time he mentioned the word Ford, it linked back to the main root page of Ford, right? Every time he said this type of engine, it links back. Now, marketing isn't a dip your foot in the pool kind of thing, right? People say, how long will this take? That's the famous question. You know, everyone said, how long will it take? And I say to you, how, honestly, with your art and what you do, how long do you want to have your art and do your art?
I tell the story about the third chakra piece, which is the original 3 feet by 4 feet. It took me 72 hours to do the disc in the middle.
Yeah, but hold on. How long do you want it to exist? Like, how long do you want to sell it? I like that dance. Forever, right?
Yeah.
Forever. You want to build it up and sell it and pass it along to your kids and have your 400 years from now, they're still buying your painting.
Yeah.
That's how long we need to market your business. Get it?
Get it.
It's not a marketing campaign. Everybody says campaign, like we're going to just run this thing and do it. It's forever. It's your passion. It's your dream. It's what your intention, right, that you want to put out into the universe. Somewhere along that line, you have to take that leap of faith. And Faith Young is here. I'm going to talk about her story in a second. And commit yourself to that thoroughly. So I ask people, how many benefits are there to what you do? Oh my God, there's hundreds of ways that I can help people. There's thousands of different ways we could phrase it. I said, you're right. That's thousands of things we need to do because we need to go through each and every specific one and experiment with the language and the formulas to keep expanding your digital footprint, right? So, does that all make sense? Okay, good. So, Faith Young is my personal mentor, guidance counselor to everything. And what happened was, Dan wrote me, a week ago, not even, and said, one of the speakers couldn't be here. I jumped in and said, I want to be a speaker, and I've got someone for you. So I brought Faith Young here. I introduced her to Dan, and I know, and your philosophies mesh, so I thought this was a good place for Faith to be. And you're going to be hearing from her tomorrow. So Faith Young came to me with her book. Now her book is called, you're going to love this, What Would Faith Do? Her name is Faith Young, right? So in each chapter of her book, she teaches you how to overcome something specific in your life. So one of the chapters, and all she did was come to me and say, well, I just want to, make a website, for this book or do something online, with the book. So I took a look at it and said, okay, well, each chapter has a specific pain point, right, that you're then solving, right, through that. So if you go to whatwouldfaithdo.com, and I can show you the different work and the things that I've done, what it is there are 13 different inbound marketing campaigns. There are 13 different landing pages, all in a portfolio on the front page. So one of the little squares says, become your own biggest fan. But I said, what's the opposite of that? Because remember, we're going through the wormhole out the other side, and we're saying, well, how do people describe their pain, right? So the opposite of that is being your own biggest critic, right? If you're not your own number one fan, you're your own biggest critic. So we built out about 13 to 16 different landing pages with 96 videos that we shot on at the end of 2014 on Christmas Eve, right? That even went into her happy birthday video, thank you for following me on Facebook video, Halloween, happy Halloween, and all the videos that we could think of to do, so that we could go out there and target, because again, faith is the solution for me to everything, right? And a lot of you might say, like, I'm the solution to everything. But, as Antique and I work together too, there are specific problems that you can solve, right, that are from specific pain points and specific ways that people are talking about in different ways that people are in pain. You with me? Okay. So, Stern storming works like this. You know the features of your business, right? Or the business that you're going to start, right? Or the class you want to have online. Or, as you were saying, I want people to know that there's still magic in the world and all of that kind of stuff, which we talked over lunch, and I said, well, then why don't we just put up there, why is there no magic left, right? Or where has the magic gone, right? Because somebody might see that and come in and discover, well, your solution is there really is magic, right? Okay. So, you know the features of what your business is. Now, as Dan was saying, features and benefits, features and benefits. The problem is, when you say the benefit is I take lovely pictures of families, right, and they're beautiful and they can hang them on their wall, that's not a benefit, right? That's still a feature. So when people at the top of their head say, well, I help people and I cure them and I save them and I make them, live better and all that, I go, that's still your feature. Your true benefit is, because I believe that, there's a cause and effect to all of us connected here in the universe, is what happens in the aftermath of having done business with you. And have you ever asked one of your clients 6 months down the road or a year down the road, or even, which by the way, you should keep in touch with them periodically, which is another thing that we do, customer retention and loyalty and all that. But have you ever asked them, how is your life different now?